Hi, it's Wednesday, May 27th.
I'm supposed to say that.
Oh.
I've said that. No, I just ask him to. I've said it every time in all these devotionals. It's like, you say it. That's fun. Okay, today we're going to talk about let's do lunch or dinner or midnight snack or breakfast out of Acts 2:46. Yesterday we talked about everyday connections.
Right.
So let's look at that again, Acts 2:46.
And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts.
Okay, so we see the early church, they connected every day somehow in the temple courts. They went over to their houses. And we talked yesterday about how important it is to maintain connection with other believers, and not just a Sunday connection or a Wednesday connection, but a daily connection. Have those people in your life. Then we're going to talk about eating together. We both like to eat.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had many meals with you. You've eaten at our house. We've been at your house. We've been out to restaurants many times together, alone, and then with our spouses and our family. And I remember a couple of times you and Stacy took us to really nice restaurants. You like to eat really good food.
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
Because if you're going to get full, I want to enjoy all the pleasure that's possible during that moment.
So not getting full of bologna.
No, I don't like bologna.
I got to tell Pastor Corey, you'll know Pastor Corey, who is over our ministries here, executive pastor. I was riding with him in the People Mover to pick up the ladies off of a cruise in Galveston several years ago. And there's this place on I-45 between Dallas and Houston called Sam's. You ever been to Sam's Buffet?
No.
In Fairfield, Texas. So it's just country Texas food, barbecue. Okay, they'll have barbecue, chicken fried steak, barbecue chicken, meatloaf. They'll have fried chicken, then all these vegetables. Everything's mashed noodled or fried in a salad bar, and soups. And then they have a whole thing of desserts, cobblers, cakes, pies, meringues like this high.
Yeah.
Very Texan, all you can eat. Corey kept eating and eating and eating. And I remember saying, I think you're going to make yourself sick. I'm just going to get another piece of pie that's so good. All the way to Galveston, Corey was on the verge of vomiting. And so what I'm hearing you say, if you're going to get full, don't do it just at some buffet.
Right.
Yeah, make it on really good food. But you know, we do eat a lot in this community, in this nation. When the pandemic started, how did you and Stacy handle the food?
We just kind of kept doing what we were doing.
Okay.
We didn't change much. We got random stuff because they didn't have some stuff, so
Right.
she would try to get
Yeah,
random
it was kind of, I think they were freaking us out, nearly like hiding whole
Right.
things in the bag. That's what it felt like. How can we be out of this? But there was a rush on the grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
And people were grateful for the food they were getting. I mean, our pantry filled up a couple times, and then, you know, we had 4 hungry people in our house. And then just a couple weeks ago, talk of a meat shortage. We got plenty of meat, and we got food. But here that scripture says that we were to be glad in our hearts and grateful for food. So when they came together, they were even grateful for being together and then thankful for the food they had. And so, you know, my question is, are you grateful for what you have? Not just, you know, clothes, houses, cars, and everything that God's done for you. Are you grateful for the food He's given you? Because when they came together, not only did they worship together, it says they were glad and grateful basically for the food that they were getting. So give thanks. Give thanks for what God has blessed you with. And when He cares about the sparrow, when He cares about the flower, I was out in front of our building, our office building, and I saw something move over in a corner of a step, and I went over there. It was this tiny little sparrow, about this big, that had just come out of a nest somewhere. It was just crammed into this corner, and I was thinking, God knows you're here. God knows you're right here in this corner. So He cares about us, and He takes care of our needs. I'll be honest, I haven't always been grateful for food. Have you?
No.
Just take it for granted.
Right.
I remember as a single man, I was a kid, living in an apartment, I would eat over my sink with the disposal. Whenever it fell, just turn on the sink and it goes down. I wasn't grateful, but I've learned to be grateful for big things and the little things. So I don't mind giving thanks for the food God's blessed me with. You know, Marilyn Hickey, I love her. she says, it's a shame. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're ungrateful that you can't even thank God for the food in front of you. I'm like, wow, that's pretty. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but she was like, I mean, if you eat with Marilyn Hickey, you're going to give thanks. No matter how many people at the table, or if it's just you and her, you're going to give thanks for what God has put before you. What do you think that if we did that every day, what would that do to us?
I think it would cause us to appreciate what we have more.
Yeah. And if I see you appreciating what's in front of you, then I'm going to appreciate it as well.
Right.
So I encourage you, when you go out to eat, or you eat at home, or you have the fast food in your car, give God thanks. Well, I just paid for it with God's money. Everything that you have is God's. Give him thanks. You know when we're really grateful for food? When we can't get it.
Yes.
That's when we're like, oh man. You know, remember the runs on the grocery store when you're able to get the box of macaroni you're afraid you wouldn't get? You're like, score. You're grateful. So be grateful. So you say, why are you focusing on this today? Because it's in the Word. The early church were grateful and glad. They had singleness of heart as they would come together and share their meals. So share your food, do lunch with somebody, do breakfast, do dinner, take somebody out to eat, have them over to your house. It's that everyday connection, and be grateful. Thanks for being with me today.